Oh, we want to switch this up.
Oh yeah, switch those switches.
Hi, this is Kim,
This is Andy.
and we're going to read to you from the Urantia book, okay? So sip your tea, Andy.
Yep.
Andy has a little bit of a fever, so we're taking good care of him. And he has to be reminded to take fluids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I do.
Okay, we're not making fun of you, sweetheart. We're supporting you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, we're going to read from the Urantia book, but first we got Light the Flame by Andrew Harvey. Do you want to read a little bit?
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to light on?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. This is from the Archbishop of Milan, Ambrose. His name is Ambrose, Archbishop of Milan. And he was, he lived from 340 AD to 397. And I don't know. He was a Roman governor of Emilia Liguria in Milan. And he was one of the most influential ecclesiastical figures of the 4th century. Okay. Yeah, okay. Let's see what he says.
He says, "Above all, Lord, give me the grace of compassion. Grant me to have compassion on sinners from the depth of my heart, for that is the supreme virtue. Grant me to have compassion every time I witness the fall of a sinner. Let me not arrogantly reprove him, but suffer and weep with him.
Yes.
And when I weep for my neighbor, may I weep for myself as well, and apply for myself the words, 'The prostitute is more righteous than you are.'" Wow.
So, all right. So it's so tempting to sit in judgment of our brothers and sisters who fall, who just, but we have to forgive them. We have to be with them. Okay. And the more we do that, if we sit in judgment on them and you're cursing them and you're cursing yourself is what you need to understand.
Judgment of yourself.
Yeah. Because then you're setting something impossible for you to achieve. So instead, when the people make mistakes, and sometimes today in this world it's really horrifying, the things people are going to, yeah. But I always separate the. I don't have to interact with the leaders of these way out there movements, but I can empathize with the followers because they're like victims, and I've got cousins here who are into this stuff, and I my heart goes out to them. I want to help them, not to hate, not to fear. So how do I do that? By not fearing and hating them.
Right.
That's the only way.
It's the only way.
So even though
I think there's always a way to help yourself through that.
Yeah.
There's a way, like I was thinking of Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah.
We can say that the legal system worked the way it was designed. Half the people are going to disagree with every verdict, but it worked.
Well, I don't know. I don't put a lot of faith in systems. What I'm seeing, I saw that young man, and he was, when that verdict was read, he was holding back tears. You could see that. You saw that footage. Yeah. So what I say to myself, I don't know this young man. I don't know what he's going through internally. I have no idea what he's thinking about the fact that he shot 2 people. At least one of them was in cold blood. Cold blood.
Yeah.
And if he thinks of himself as a murderer or a sinner, I don't think he would have been going through the emotion that was exhibited
Right.
if he was viewing
Mhm.
himself as some kind of liberator,
Mhm.
which clearly
Mhm.
would have been mistaken.
Yeah.
I don't know what's developing within him, and I don't have the privilege of being with this young man. I've raised two young men myself. Those are some of the most important people in the world to me, and I um, I pray that he is um, surrounded with high quality souls, and then if he's not, he can recognize that.
Mhm.
And but I think what's clear is that he's not immune to the spiritual development that is
I do think he felt genuinely remorseful
yeah,
and relieved.
yeah. And how that translates into his future, none of us can say.
No.
So it's so easy. We're tempted here with all of this media, all this person, all of these celebrities and personalities that are on TV, and we think we know these people, and we don't. We don't know anything about them except what's on display, and it's so easy for us to convince ourselves that we know,
Mhm.
and we don't. I don't know this young man. I don't know this young man.
No.
So all I have to do is trust in God's the process of the Spirit and the angels, and I can just hope that He has people to guide him, and for the families of the people that died and were injured at his hands. I pray that they're able to forgive and go forward with their lives. I don't think it's over for him.
Mhm.
I think that there's grounds for appeal in this case, and I don't think for by a long shot this kid is off the hook.
No, I think he'll probably need to go into the witness protection program, and start a new life somewhere else.
That's true too, because there's a lot of people that are that angry. See, and then that furthers the whole thing. So I hope that this, um, whether you believe justice was carried or not, I don't really
The process worked.
see. That's where I'm going to differ with you. I don't put a lot of faith in systems anymore.
Okay.
In our system of legal system, I put faith in humans.
Or the Urantia book.
Well, the Urantia book is a tool. I think that I put faith in God and that God's working within this young man, and I would hope God is working through the people around him to see that, I hope that there's not a lot of rhetoric around him that's vindicating him as some kind of hero, and he's because that will twist him up. So, and then there's other people here. So that this person is going to be conflicted whether he can resolve this or not internally. That's where I'm at. I'm not about seeking judgment through the system or through God's will or being the hand of God. These people think they're like, I'm the hand of God and I'm going to do God's will by taking vengeance on behalf of this person and whatever, Screw that. That's dumb.
What, you're not a soldier of
No,
Christ?
I don't. No, I'm not. No.
Okay.
I'm a light bringer.
You certainly are.
Okay. I'm a light bringer, and whatever happens, whatever, we don't have control of this, and we have to know that we don't know. People come and like try to vigilante this kid and think that they know something about what he's going through inside. Okay, and you got whatever idea of justice is, but that's all external. That's all circumstantial. God's justice, God brings justice right here, right here. right to you,
Right.
right to your mind. And God is delivering that to this young man.
Mhm.
None of us can do that, what God and these angels can do
Right.
for him. So that's the process you have to trust in.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
The lawyers, the
Yeah.
the TV, the talkie. Okay, that's all
Mhm.
hoo-ha. That's all just you know.
Mhm.
What matters, what's important is what's happening inside of these people.
Mhm. True. True.
Okay?
Mhm. Yeah.
And the more we do this,
Mhm.
the less that gets in the way of God's work that's being done here
Mhm. Mhm.
and here.
Yeah. So we all have work to do.
We all have work to do. We all have work to do. We're not instruments of divine justice, people. We're light bringers.
So where are we?
Hmm?
Where are we?
We are
today?
paper 26. Ministering Spirits of the Central Universe. Section 6, the Supremacy Guides.
Mhm.
Okay? How are you feeling, darling?
Okay.
Take a drink of your tea, please.
Yeah.
Take
Yeah.
a drink. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Section 6, the Supremacy Guides. Ascenders of space are designated spiritual graduates when translated from the 7th to the 6th circle and are placed under the immediate supervision of the Supremacy Guides. Okay, so these Supremacy Guides are secondary supernafim. Okay, so they're in the category of supernafim. So these different categories are helping us move from each circle of heaven toward the next inward circuit of heaven. So the first ones, when we get to the 7th circuit of heaven, we talked about the Pilgrim Helpers,
Mhm.
and they help us through the 7th circle of heaven.
Mhm.
And then the next one, through the 6th circle of heaven, we are under the care of the Supremacy Guides.
Mhm.
So this is while we're in heaven and we're striving to perfect ourselves still,
Mhm.
even while we're in heaven.
Right.
We're trying to perfect ourselves so that we can stand in witness, in close company
Mhm.
with the Holy Trinity on paradise,
Mhm.
to be
Wow.
worthy of that audience.
Wow. I have a lot of work to do.
I know. So even while we're in heaven, we are perfecting, and these beings are helping us to perfect our own development. We're still
Mhm.
developing.
So there's more to being
There's
up there than constantly retuning your harp and
oh
trying to wrangle a good cloud.
yeah, yes, absolutely. Isn't that amazing? So I just love that. I just,
Mhm.
okay. These guides should not be confused with the graduate guides belonging to the higher personalities of the infinite spirit, who, with their servile associates, minister on all circuits of Havona to both ascending and descending pilgrims, because the descending pilgrims are going outward from paradise toward the 7 super universes.
Mhm.
The supremacy guides function only on the 6th circle of the central universe. So the infinite spirit made so many different things. It's so amazing. Yeah, the graduate guides. I think we talked about the graduate. Yeah, there's the graduate guides are featured in section six of paper 24. If you want to read the graduate guides here that help there, but there's so many helpers there.
Mhm.
There's so many, and that we really can't fail as long as we humble ourselves and are willing to learn and don't get to this place where, yeah, I know everything, screw this, Okay. That's the only thing we really need to stay away from. Besides that, we explore our mind, we explore the world, and we're under the guidance of these wonderful beings. And I'm so grateful for this plan for my ascension.
Yes.
You feel that? Okay,
I
so
do.
often. It is in this circle that the ascenders achieve a new realization of, right, okay, did I read the last sentence? Okay, of the other paragraph. The Supremacy Guides function only, I didn't I, on the sixth circle of century? Yeah, I did that. Okay, I'm sorry. It is in this circle that the ascenders achieve a new realization of supreme divinity. Through their long careers in the evolutionary universes, the pilgrims of time have been experiencing a growing awareness of the reality of an almighty over control of the time-space creations. Here, on this Havona circuit, they come near to encountering the central universe source of space-time unity, the spiritual reality of God the Supreme.
Wow.
Now, we talked about God the Supreme. Do you have understanding of what that is? So that's different than the Holy Trinity. And that is an emerging God. So we, through our most uplifting and spiritually valuable experiences, we are actually creating God the Supreme together as all sentient beings throughout the grand universe are creating this and infusing this God the Supreme with our reality. So you think that sounds, how does that hit you?
Well, that there's more to this life than we would think.
People have said, all the time that, oh, if God wasn't real, we'd have to create him. Well, we kind of are in this way. And to like fundamentalists, that sounds like hubris. But here we're saying that, this is true. But that is the will of the Creator God, God the Father, and the Holy Trinity that we do this.
Right.
So this is something that's happening. This is something that's real. And to me, it's exciting. It's creative. But at the same time, the whole process is not hubristic. It's not full of pride and self-indulgence, because it's being guided, divinely guided, by the hand of the Father, the Son, and the Spirit.
Right.
Okay? So I think that's incredibly beautiful.
This is like a roadmap.
Isn't it?
Where we're going.
Well, I think it's just amazing. Okay. I am somewhat at a loss to explain what takes place on this circle. No personalized presence of supremacy is perceptible to the ascenders. In certain respects, new relationships with the seventh master spirit compensate this non-contactability of the Supreme Being. But regardless of our inability to grasp the technique, each ascending creature seems to undergo a transforming growth, a new integration of consciousness, a new spiritualization of purpose, a new sensitivity for divinity, which can hardly be satisfactorily explained without assuming the unrevealed activity of the Supreme Being. So something is happening on this level that has to do with the Supreme Being. It's like we're growing closer to the Supreme Being, but a transforming growth, a new integration of consciousness, a spiritual purpose. But we're not directly aware of the presence of this Supreme Being, but at the same time, we're being infused with this activity of this consciousness of supreme integration. Okay?
Yeah.
To those of us who have observed these mysterious transactions, it appears as if God the Supreme were affectionately bestowing upon his experiential children up to the very limits of their experiential capacities, those enhancements of intellectual grasp, of spiritual insight, and of personality outreach, which they will so need in all their efforts at penetrating the divinity level of the Trinity of Supremacy to achieve the eternal and existential deities of paradise.
Hmm.
Okay, you got the last one.
Yep. When the Supremacy Guides deem their people ripe for advancement, they bring them before the Commission of 70, a mixed group serving as examiners on the pilot world of Circuit Number 6. After satisfying this commission as to their comprehension of the Supreme Being and of the Trinity of Supremacy, the pilgrims are certified for translation to the Fifth Circuit.
Okay.
So take notes.
And then the Trinity Guides is the next part. They help us through the Fifth Circuit.
Mm-hmm.
So next time we'll read about the Trinity Guides.
Cool.
Okay?
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Do you think you need to take... Okay, well, we're going to close that
Yeah.
then. We'll talk about, Carrie.
Have a great day.
Okay, bye. Love you.
Love you.